Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive.
Yeah.
Today we're going to be looking at something kind of different,
Oh.
and that is trade shows.
Okay.
Specifically, the Magic Project sourcing event
Interesting.
that's happening in Las Vegas.
Vegas.
Yeah, from February 10th to the 12th.
Okay.
And we're going to be looking at D&B rental displays.
Huh. I don't know if I've heard of them.
Yeah, so they're not like a super well-known brand or anything.
Yeah.
But they're kind of a behind-the-scenes company that really helps make these trade shows successful.
I see.
So we've got a couple sources here. We've got some of their website listings
Okay.
that kind of go through some of the things that they offer, and then a press release that highlights some of their newer services.
Right.
So I think the interesting thing about D&B is that it goes way beyond the typical mannequin rental.
Oh, really?
Like, you think of mannequins, you think of fashion, but they provide such a diverse range of equipment and services that are just essential for creating a successful presence at a trade show.
That makes sense.
Like, you need more than just mannequins
Yeah.
to really stand out.
And there's so much that goes into those booths too.
Oh, yeah.
Like the setup
It's crazy.
it's quite extensive.
I know, like setting up for a conference, that's hard enough.
Oh yeah.
So for a trade show, it must be,
I can't even imagine
I know,
what all goes into that.
wild.
Yeah.
So what's interesting to you from what you've seen so far from their website?
Well, I mean, just that they have so many things.
Yeah.
Like, how do they even keep track of all of it?
Yeah, I was blown away too.
Yeah.
I mean, just the sheer variety
Yeah.
is pretty incredible.
It's really a one-stop shop, it sounds like.
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about mannequins later because they do have a lot of those. But they have everything from steamers and mirrors to podiums,
Oh, wow.
hangers. Like, the things that you hang clothes on?
Yeah.
Live plants.
Live plants.
Yeah, you can rent live plants.
I would never have thought of that.
I know who thinks to rent a live plant.
Really, though.
But I mean, it makes sense for a trade show.
Yeah. You want to make your booth feel inviting
Yeah,
and kind of stand out from the crowd,
yeah, for sure.
especially if you're competing with a lot of other booths.
Yeah, and it just creates that kind of inviting atmosphere
Exactly.
and really goes beyond just displaying the product.
Yeah, it makes it more of an experience for
Yeah.
the people that are walking the floor.
Absolutely. So it makes me wonder
Yeah.
what their most popular rentals are.
Oh, that's a good question.
Like, I'm sure the fashion industry snaps up those mannequins.
Yeah, for sure.
But what about like the other stuff?
Yeah.
I mean, do you think exhibitors rent like everything they need?
I don't know. It's got to depend on their budget.
Yeah.
Like, so some of those bigger companies,
Right.
they probably go all out. And then, some of the smaller ones,
Right.
maybe they bring their own stuff,
Yeah.
or they're a little more budget conscious.
That makes sense. I mean, for like traveling,
Oh, yeah.
it must be a nightmare to try and get everything there.
Especially if you're coming from far away
Oh my gosh.
or like international.
Yeah.
That would be just a nightmare,
Yeah, absolutely.
logistically.
So speaking of logistical nightmares,
Oh.
imagine getting to the convention center,
Mm-hmm.
adrenaline's pumping, you're ready to set up your booth,
Yeah.
and then you realize you forgot something crucial,
Oh, God.
like a lint roller
Oh, yeah.
or safety pins.
I always need those.
I know.
For something.
Yeah, or even like a Tide pen.
Those are lifesavers.
I know.
I always keep one in my purse.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Sure.
You never know.
So that's where D&B's trade show store comes in.
Okay.
Like they have this on-site store.
Oh, that's so smart.
Yeah.
That is so convenient.
I know, it's brilliant.
It really is.
It's like a lifeline for those last-minute essentials
Yeah.
that, you didn't even realize you needed.
Totally.
And I think it's not just about the convenience.
Yeah.
It's about mitigating that stress.
Yeah, for sure.
Because when you're at a trade show,
Right.
you want to be able to focus on showcasing your products,
Yeah.
networking, connecting with buyers, and not worrying about,
Like, where am I going to find a safety pin
right?
in this giant convention center?
Exactly. So I have to ask, what are some of the more like surprising things they stock in this store? What have they learned over the years that exhibitors commonly forget
Yeah. That's a great question.
or underestimate, I guess?
Like, what do people not realize they need
Yeah,
until they're there on the ground?
yeah. I'm curious to see if we can learn more about that from the press release.
Me too.
Like what kind of insights we can find.
Yeah. Maybe it'll highlight some of the challenges
Yeah.
that people don't really think about.
Like maybe they have like phone chargers
Oh, yeah.
or extension cords
Good point.
because outlets are probably like gold.
At a premium
Yeah,
in a convention center.
I would imagine.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
It would be interesting to see if there are any patterns in the items that they stock? Like, do they see a spike in certain rentals during specific trade shows?
Yeah.
Like, maybe there's some kind of correlation
It's interesting.
between the types of products being showcased
Mm-hmm.
and the last minute essentials.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so they're gathering all this data.
They are.
They're getting a real-time snapshot
Mm-hmm.
of the common pain points
Yeah.
that exhibitors are facing.
I didn't even think of that.
Right.
But that's brilliant.
They're not just providing equipment.
Right.
They're becoming this valuable source of insight
Yeah.
into like what's happening in the industry.
Absolutely.
So, okay, let's move on to something that I found really interesting in the press release.
Yeah.
And that's their steamer services.
Fine.
So you can tell that they really understand the fashion industry because
Oh.
they know that a perfectly steamed garment
Right.
is essential
It makes all the difference.
for creating a professional look.
Mm-hmm.
Like, think about it.
Yeah.
How a crisp, wrinkle-free garment hangs on a mannequin
Absolutely.
totally elevates the entire look of the display.
Yeah, it looks so much more polished.
Yeah.
Professional.
And it's not just about aesthetics either.
Really?
Like, it actually affects how the garment drapes
Totally.
and how it looks on the mannequin.
Yeah.
So it's really important.
It's essential.
And the press release mentions
Yeah.
that Magic provides complimentary steamer stations for exhibitors.
Oh, that's nice.
I know, right?
That's a good perk.
But D&D is actually the one behind the scenes,
Oh, I see.
making sure that those stations run smoothly.
Yeah.
So they're kind of like the unsung heroes
Yeah.
of those complimentary steamer stations.
So it's a win-win for the exhibitors.
Yeah,
They get the free service,
yeah,
and D&B gets to showcase their expertise.
absolutely. I imagine it saves exhibitors a lot of money
Oh, yeah, definitely.
on rental fees.
For sure.
And also the hassle
Yeah.
of having to transport their own steamers.
And set them up
Yeah.
and all of that.
Let's take care of them.
Easy
So it's
fun.
really nice that D&D takes care of that.
Frees them up
Hmm.
to focus on other things.
Exactly. And speaking of going above and beyond,
Okay.
they also have this premium service called the Steamer Specialist.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
Uh-huh.
this is where it gets interesting.
Okay.
Let's kind of unpack this new service and
Yeah.
see how it fits into the bigger picture of their offerings.
Mm.
So what struck you about this service when
Yeah.
you read about it the first time?
It seems like a really premium service.
Yeah.
And I'm curious
Yeah.
to see if it's actually worth it.
Yeah,
You know, like what does it really offer? It just seems like a really, premiumization trend we're seeing everywhere.
yeah,
Like even steaming your clothes.
yeah.
There's a high-end option now.
Yeah, so it makes you wonder, is it really worth it? You know, like,
Yeah.
I mean, the complimentary steamer stations
Yeah.
seem pretty comprehensive.
Right, like how much better can it really be?
Yeah, what additional value does this bring
Yeah.
to the table?
Well, I think they're really banking on the fact that time is valuable
Oh, yeah.
in a trade show.
Especially those first few hours.
Absolutely.
You've got to get set up.
Everyone's there.
You've got to be ready to go.
Yeah, you've got to be like on, ready to network, ready
Yeah.
to meet people.
Yeah.
So I think they're selling peace of mind
Oh, for sure.
and efficiency.
Absolutely.
Imagine you're an exhibitor.
Yeah.
You just flew into Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
You're probably jet lagged.
Right.
You've got a ton of stuff to unpack
Oh, yeah.
and prep mountains of garments.
Yeah. So the steamer specialist
Mhm.
comes directly to your booth.
To you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Unpacks everything, steams it to perfection.
That sounds amazing.
I know.
Like, sign me up.
Right. And you can just focus on other things.
Yeah. And know that it's being handled
Yeah.
by a professional.
That your clothes will look amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, but,
Yeah.
it does sound like a huge time saver,
Oh, yeah.
especially if you've got like a big collection. But they also mentioned that there might be a wait list.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it's in high demand.
I think so.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So what does that tell us about, demand and their strategy?
Well, it's classic scarcity marketing.
right.
Like, they're creating that sense of like
Urgency.
exclusivity.
Yeah.
That,
Like you have to have it.
even if you can afford it, you might not be able to get it.
Right.
So it just
Oh,
automatically
it elevates the value.
elevates it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a smart.
It's like those,
What are those?
like limited edition sneakers
Oh, yeah.
that sell out in like minutes.
Yeah, and then people resell them
Yeah.
for like triple the price.
It's crazy.
So they're really capitalizing on those trends.
Yeah, they're not just,
Meeting the need. They're
right.
kind of like creating the need.
Yeah, they're anticipating it.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're really strategic.
they're ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's move on
Yeah.
to the mannequins themselves.
Yeah, mannequins.
Because that's kind of like their bread and butter.
It is.
So their website has just a crazy amount
Does it?
of different mannequins.
Oh, wow.
They have like every style you could imagine.
Like,
I mean,
give me some examples.
they've got your classic headless forms.
Oh, yeah.
And then full body mannequins with like really realistic features.
Oh, wow. So they've got a range.
Yeah, and a wide range of prices too.
Yeah.
I was really impressed with their selection of plus size mannequins.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it's great to see them catering to a more inclusive range of body types.
That's really important these days.
Yeah.
For brands to be inclusive,
Yeah.
to appeal to a wider audience.
So what does this tell you about like their awareness of the evolving fashion landscape?
I mean, I think it shows that they're really in tune with what's going on. You know, for a long time, mannequins presented this very
Narrow.
standard of beauty.
Yeah, and kind of an unattainable one at that.
Yeah.
So I think it's great that they're offering a wider range
Right.
to represent different body types
Yeah.
and celebrate individuality.
I wonder if they've seen an increase in demand
Oh, yeah.
for plus-size mannequins specifically.
I would be curious to know that. Like,
Yeah.
is that segment of their business growing
Yeah.
faster than others?
And what does that say about the industry as a whole?
Yeah.
All right.
Are more brands embracing size inclusivity?
That's a good question.
Yeah, and it's not just about body size.
Right.
They also have different ethnicities
Oh,
and
yeah.
ages.
Okay.
Which is really great to see that kind of representation
It just makes it feel
more realistic,
Yeah.
more reflective of the real world.
absolutely.
So, you know,
Yeah.
it makes you think about like the role of mannequins in storytelling.
Oh, interesting.
You know, they're not just static figures.
Right.
They're tools that can be used to convey a message
Oh, yeah.
and an aesthetic.
Absolutely.
So how do you think this kind of range allows exhibitors to tell more compelling stories?
I mean, it just opens up so many possibilities.
Yeah.
You know, they can choose mannequins that align with their brand values
Right.
and their target audience.
Right.
So, like, imagine a sustainable fashion brand
Yeah.
showcasing their collection on mannequins made from recycled materials,
Oh, that's cool.
right? Or like a streetwear brand
Mhm.
using mannequins with edgy poses and
Yeah.
accessories.
Right. So it's really going beyond just displaying the clothes.
Exactly.
And it's about creating that experience
yeah,
that captures the brand.
it's about telling a story
Yeah.
that resonates with people.
It makes them want to buy the clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's where D&B's expertise comes in.
Right.
Because they don't just provide the mannequins.
Right.
They offer guidance
Yeah.
and support.
Yeah, like how to use them effectively. So
Yeah.
they really understand.
Visual merchandising.
Yeah.
They know how to make things look good.
So they're kind of like creative consultants almost.
In a way, yeah.
Yeah.
Like they're helping exhibitors bring their vision to life
Yeah.
in a way that's impactful.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
engaging. They're not just selling equipment, they're
Right.
selling expertise
Huh.
and an understanding of how to make an impact.
And how to maximize that impact
Yeah.
with visual merchandising.
It makes you wonder if they offer like workshops or training sessions.
That would be smart.
I know, right? For exhibitors.
On best practices.
Yeah.
That would be a great way to add value to
Totally.
their services.
Yeah.
And really empower exhibitors to like take things to the next level.
Yeah. Okay, so let's circle back to something you mentioned earlier.
Oh, yeah.
About the data they're collecting.
From the trade show store.
Right. Like it's almost like they're doing a market research study
It is
on the needs and challenges
Yeah.
of trade show exhibitors.
in real time.
Yeah.
That's
So
amazing.
imagine the insights
Hmm?
they could glean from all of that.
Oh, so many.
Yeah.
Like, what are people buying?
Yeah.
What are they forgetting?
What are the pain points?
Yeah. And are there any trends
Yeah.
emerging
Yeah.
that they could capitalize on?
So it could be really valuable for them in terms of refining their offerings, developing new services,
Yeah.
and just staying ahead of the curve.
Absolutely.
And it also highlights like the importance
Of what?
of paying attention to
Yeah.
those little details.
So the details.
Yeah, because sometimes the most valuable insights are kind of hidden in plain sight.
Absolutely.
So by tracking these purchases,
Yeah.
they're really getting a deep understanding.
Of what people need, of
Yeah.
what exhibitors need.
And it shows that they're really invested
They are.
in the success of their clients.
They want to see their clients succeed.
Yeah, it makes you realize that
Wow.
a company like this
Yeah.
is almost like a barometer for the industry.
Wow, interesting.
You know, they're not just witnessing these changes, they're actively responding to them
Yeah, and shaping the future of
Yeah.
trade shows.
and helping to shape the future of trade shows, which
I
is
know.
really cool.
That is cool. Yeah. Really is.
And that brings us back to, why we do these deep dives.
Yeah.
It's not just about uncovering interesting facts.
Right, yeah.
It's about connecting the dots.
Yeah, seeing the bigger picture.
Yeah, understanding those implications.
Exactly.
So for someone listening,
Yeah.
who might be attending magic or even exhibiting there,
Okay.
what's like the key takeaway here?
Well, I think the main thing is to look beyond the surface.
Okay.
Like when you walk those aisles at Magic,
Yeah.
you're seeing so much more
Yeah.
than just the booths.
Right.
Like there are so many decisions, investments, behind the scenes efforts
Right.
that go into making that all happen.
And D&B is just like one small piece.
One piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, but a crucial piece.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they're the ones who are helping those exhibitors,
Right.
really put their best foot forward, create these memorable brand experiences.
Yeah, it's a team effort.
Yeah, it's a reminder that success at a trade show.
Or any big event, really.
Yeah.
It's rarely a solo thing.
It's about collaboration,
Absolutely.
strategic partnerships,
Yeah, leveraging expertise.
and recognizing the value of those who work behind the scenes.
The unsung heroes,
Yeah.
the people that make it all happen.
So as we wrap up
Okay.
our deep dive
Yeah.
into the world of D&B rental displays, let's leave our listeners
Okay.
with one final thought to ponder.
All right, I like it.
Think about the events you attend,
Yeah.
the experiences that leave a lasting impression.
Right.
What are the unseen forces at play?
Ooh.
The unsung heroes
Yeah.
who contribute to those moments of magic.
The people behind the curtain,
Right.
so to speak.
Yeah. Is it the event planner,
Yeah.
meticulously orchestrating every detail?
Could be.
The caterer who provides delicious food?
The entertainment.
Yeah, the sound technician?
Yeah, making sure the music's perfect.
Right, it's all of those things.
It's a symphony
It's a symphony.
of small details
Yeah,
that come together.
to create this amazing experience.
Yeah.
So next time you're at an event,
Okay.
take a moment to appreciate those people.
Those unseen forces
Yeah, the ones behind the scenes.
making the magic happen.
Look beyond the surface, and you'll discover a whole world
A whole world.
of fascinating stories.
So much more than meets the eye.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
All right, thanks for joining us
Yeah, this was fun.
for another deep dive.
Until next time.
See ya!